Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're doing a detailed tutorial for the module 3527 that's in this DW-6640. Now this is a re-edition of the DW-6600 from 1994, but the functions have been changed because this movement module is pretty much the same as the 1545 found in the basic DW-5600 square, but the operation is slightly different due to an additional button. So let's start. First, you have the home screen where you're going to see the hours, the minutes, the seconds, the date, the month, and the day of the week. And these things here are nothing but, as they like to call them, eye candy. On the original, they actually serve the purpose, but because those functions are missing, now they're just moving along. Now, you cycle through the modes with the mode button, which is this lower one. So you have the home time, you have the alarm, you have a countdown timer, you have a stopwatch, and it goes back to the home screen. Whenever you operate one of the functions, so let's say the countdown timer, if you start operating it and go back, as soon as you press the next button, it's going to jump back to the home screen. Now to set up this watch, all you have to do is press the adjust button in the home screen, and the watch is going to ask you for the seconds. Now while you're doing this, you can also change the format of the display, whether you want a 24 or 12-hour display. If you want a 24-hour display, it's going to be displayed like this. To toggle between them while you're in the adjusting screen, when something is flashing, whether seconds, minutes, or hours, you press the light button. So if we press this, now you're going to have an AM/PM indicator. So now it's 4 p.m., but I prefer military time, so I'll press it again, and it's going to go back to the 16. Now while the seconds are flashing, pressing the lower button, it's gonna reset them. If you reset them after 30 seconds, between 30 and 59, the minutes are gonna move by 1 up. If you reset them up to 30 seconds, the minutes are gonna stay unchanged. So if I reset them now, the minutes are gonna jump from 9 to 10, and the seconds are gonna jump to 0. If it's below 30 seconds, like now, the minutes are gonna stay unchanged, like so. Once you've synced your seconds to the atomic clock, you press the mode button and the watch is going to ask you for the hours. Now you can only move upwards, you cannot go back, which is a shame, and you can also speed scroll by pressing and holding. So if we hold it, it's going to start speed scrolling the hours. Pressing the mode button, the watch asks you for the minutes, again the same. You can only go one way and you can also speed scroll. Pressing the mode button again, the watch asks you for the year. Here again, you can only go one way and you can speed scroll. It's gonna go, I believe, to 2099 and then jump back to, I believe, 2000 or something like that. So let's do it. Speed scroll. 60, 70, 80, 90, 2000. Okay, now let's move on. Sorry, let's go to 2023. Like so. Pressing the mode button again, the watch is going to ask you for the month, again the same. You can also speed scroll, and it's going to ask you for the date. Again, you can only go one way and you can speed scroll. The day of the week is calculated automatically, so the watch is not going to ask you for that, but it's very important to set up the year, date, and month correctly, otherwise the calendar data for the day of the week is going to be incorrect. Pressing the mode button again, the watch jumps back to the seconds. So if you messed anything up, simply cycle with the mode button until you set up everything correctly. Once you've done that, you press the adjust button and the watch is gonna exit the adjusting screen. In the home screen, you can do nothing except turn on the light, and you can also turn on the flash alert. To turn on the flash alert while in the home screen, press and hold the start-stop button for about 3 seconds. The watch is going to beep and you're going to get this symbol on the screen. This symbol means that whenever an alarm goes on, or the hourly chime goes on, or the countdown timer reaches 0, the watch is going to beep, but it's also going to flash the screen with its backlight. So another function that's from the 1545. Moving on, the next function is the alarm. While in the alarm, you can toggle on or off the alarm and the hourly chime by pressing this lower button. So this is now the alarm turned on at midnight. This is not now the hourly chime turned on, meaning that every full hour the watch is going to beep. This is now both the alarm and the hourly chime, and this is a neither. So you cycle with this, and as you can see, alarm, hourly chime, both, neither. That's it. Also, you can adjust the alarm to any time you want, and as soon as you start adjusting it, it's going to turn on automatically. So press the adjust button. As you can see, the alarm has turned on, and now you can choose any time. This is the hours. You can again go only one way and speed scroll. Pressing the mode button, the watch is going to ask you for the minutes. Again, you can set it up to any time you want. And now, if you leave it like this and exit with the adjusting button, this means that this is going to be a daily alarm that's going to go off at 16:11 every day. But this is a multifunction alarm, meaning you can also choose the month and date when you want it. So press the adjust button again and cycle the hours, the minutes, press the mode button again. The watch is going to ask you for the month. So if we set it up like this is going to be a daily alarm during February. So every day during February, it's going to turn itself on at 16:11, and that's going to be it, only during February. If we also add the date, like so, this is now a yearly alarm that's going to go off every February 3rd at 16:11. So only once a year. If, however, we put this to hyphens, so let's say instead of the month, we put it like this. This is now going to be a monthly alarm that's going to go off every third day of every month at 16:11. So I don't know how useful that is, but you can adjust it. If we bring back both to the hyphens, that means it becomes a daily alarm again. So let's get it back like so. Press the adjust button, you've exited the alarm, and now it's going to be a daily alarm that's also going to flash. To turn it off, again cycle with this until you get clear screen. Now the alarm is not going to go off, but it's going to remember the time that you set up in the adjusting screen, so you can toggle it on or off when you need it. Press the mode button, it's going to jump back, so let's move on to the next function. This is the countdown timer. Here the watch is going to display the current time here, and this is a 24-hour countdown timer settable down to the second. You can start it, you can stop it, and you can reset it. You can also set it up to any time you want, and once it reaches 0, it's going to both beep and flash. But this also has an auto repeat timer, which is one of the most useful functions I've ever had on a GSHOCK, meaning that you can set it up to, let's say, 8 hours, toggle on the auto repeat, and every 8 hours it's going to read 0 and restart by itself, which is pretty good if you have some medication or something. To set it up to any time you want, you press the adjust button. The watch is going to ask you for how many hours. So let's say we'll put 5 hours. Press the mode button again. We can adjust the minutes, let's say 10. And pressing the mode button again asks for the seconds, so you can actually adjust it to any second you want. Like so. To toggle the auto repeat on or off while you're in the adjusting screen of the countdown timer. So while it's flashing, you press the light button, and you're going to have this auto right here. So now if we exit the adjusting screen and start the countdown timer, it's going to count down. Once it reaches 0, it's going to both beep and flash because we turned on the flash alert, and it's going to automatically restart, and it's going to keep doing that until you actually physically stop it in the countdown timer and reset it like so. And that's pretty much it. Let's go to the stopwatch, and this is where the difference is between this and the old one. The old one had a 5-second pre-start. This is why you have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it also had a target alarm where you could set up the time that you want in the stopwatch, and once the watch gets close to it, it's going to start counting down and it's going to beep. This is just a regular 24-hour stopwatch with 1/100th of a second precision. You can start it with this button, you can stop it, and you can reset it with this one or this one. So if you start, stop, reset. You can also do the split times, so you start the alarm. When you want to do a split time, you simply press this while the stopwatch is running. It's going to freeze the screen so you can write down the time. Pressing it again unfreezes the screen, and that's pretty much it. And you can also do the first and second place. So if you have 2 runners, when the first one goes through the finish line, you press the upper button. When the second one goes through the finish line, you press the lower button. Now once you've written down the time of the first runner, you press this, it's gonna display the time of the second runner, and pressing it again is gonna reset the stopwatch. And that's pretty much it. Pressing again the button jumps back to the home screen. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this module. Like I said, it's the same as the 1545 and the modern version of the 1545 found on the basic DW-6640, but due to the buttons, the additional button, the functionality is slightly different. Now, I wish Seiko introduced the module that was in the original DW-6640 because of the pre-start function and because of the target alarm, but what can you do? At least the countdown timer is an improvement, because that one I believe just had a basic countdown timer that was something like 60 minutes or something like that. Well, this one is a full 24-hour with auto repeat, which is, like I said, the function that I use most on my G-SHOCKs. Anyways, that's it when it comes to this module, so I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.